Howdy, I hope you're having a great day. Silver Trade here again with another video. There is another GameStop scam going on. We're going to check out GameStop on the graph. We got a few great theories to talk about, and we might talk a little bit about AMC. But before we get into that, please remember, none of this is financial advice. We are not financial advisors, and this video is made for entertainment purposes only. Yesterday, GameStop submitted their Form 8K, talking about how they sold $2.7 billion worth of bonds in total. So I'm refreshing Open Insider every hour to see if Ryan Cohen buys a few more shares at these low prices. A few people have reported a GameStop scam. And GameStop at the bottom says, "This is a scam, sending you a message for additional information." In the quote-unquote email from GameStop, it says, "We've seen an incredible surge in demand for upcoming releases, especially the Nintendo Switch 2, and we know some of you have faced issues placing or completing your orders online. We sincerely appreciate your patience. To help with this, we're offering a temporary solution pathway for those experiencing issues with payment or order processing. As part of our effort to streamline fulfillment, we've made crypto payment options available for manual processing." There's the scam. While our main site undergoes load optimization. When GameStop announces that they're taking crypto as payments, you're going to see it all over the news. Not in some random email from GameStop at Brussels Media. And then they keep babbling on and talking about how you should please reply directly to this email. If you see this, just know it's BS. GameStop said, "Thank you for letting us know about this. That's definitely a phishing email. We will let guest care know about this and monitor the situation." Push Start Arcade is a virtual PSA Arcade. As the title suggests, the PSA Push Start Arcade could be a virtual PSA Arcade. PSA Vault will already store your cards in their possession and provide you access to them through the PSA Vault virtually. GameStop could utilize the existing software infrastructure and PSA partnership to build on this and create a PSA Arcade, where individuals can use their own PSA graded cards to virtually compete and level up within an arcade. Something that is missing from several of the online card games I've seen for at least Pokemon and maybe others is the ability to actually use the cards you own to play and collect. All I've seen is the ability to play with virtually pulled cards that have no other utility outside of a specific game that they are attached to. In this new arcade, players and collectors could use their own PSA cards to battle, compete, and play with others through this arcade. Buck saying, "Why would you need two of those?" could be referencing the physical cards stored at PSA and the virtual and playable card available through the vault within this arcade. GameStop can bolster their collectible business by encouraging customers to buy real cards, submit them through PSA, and play them within their own gaming ecosystem to level up and compete in a wide variety of different collectible games. Power to the players. The top comment on this post is, "My son pulled a rare Pokemon card a few weeks ago and wanted to get it graded. I was explaining to him that this changes it from a toy to a collectible, and an online arcade like this would bridge that gap back to being a toy. I agree that it is a digital arcade of some sort," and he said that this would be a very cool spin. GameStop has a huge following and shareholder base, so if they were to launch a game or an online game through their arcade or something like that, they would quickly be able to put out some great numbers. And GameStop on the graph, last time we had a convertible note offering, GameStop came all the way down to this yellow or orange line right here, which is the 500-day moving average, which is a very important line on the daily chart for any stock. It came down, got that liquidity. Right here on this tiny little red candle is when Ryan Cohen bought another 500,000 shares of GameStop. And over the next couple of weeks, GameStop ran to $28 per share and then $35 per share. And then they just did another convertible bond offering, bringing GameStop down from about $30 per share all the way down to $20 per share, retesting that 500-day moving average. And it fell pretty hard, but it still finished its lowest point higher than we did back here. So a higher low, which is great to see. It got back inside of the Bollinger Bands. It's been farting around the 5-day moving average, broke below it, and then put in another higher low right here, from right here. And then now on June 25th, GameStop got above that 5-day moving average, that purple line. If GameStop was going to continue down, it wouldn't have put in a higher low and then gotten above the 5-day moving average. This tells me that GameStop is moving up. So maybe this week, if it turns out that Ryan Cohen does buy some more shares, or maybe next week, I expect GameStop to hit this green line right here, or the 200-day moving average, at about $25.86. It might bounce off of it for a few days and then continue up through it, but we'll just have to wait and see. Also, at about $26 per share on the weekly, and at $26 per share, so right about this area on the weekly chart is the Bollinger Band's midline and the 5-day moving average. So GameStop could definitely see some resistance around the $26 level, but I expect it to test those levels within the next couple of weeks. Lately, GameStop, over these last couple of days, GameStop has kind of made a local high at about $23.50, and it's been slowly working its way up like a bullish wedge. So maybe it comes up to this green line, stays below it for a little bit, and then we have the daily MACD cross, and then that is what helps us get through. Or maybe Ryan Cohen buys and we just go straight through it. And then we have the MACD cross for even more continuation. But it is great to see GameStop still putting in a higher low than it did back here after testing the 500-day moving average. And even with the RSI getting lower right here than it did back here, the price still stayed higher, which is super bullish. And last time GameStop did an offering, just 2 days later, Ryan Cohen bought shares, and that made GameStop run from $20 a share up to $28 per share over the next couple of weeks. I'm really excited to see how GameStop finishes out the week. If you like me going over the charts, please leave a like, and then I'll know to do it more often. Here in just a second, we're going to go over AMC's charts as well. And I've had a few people, absolute angels, email me over the course of this whole YouTube thing, and I really appreciate it. I am so happy to see that y'all are enjoying these videos. Thank you so much for all of the love and support. This gentleman's been thinking about these notes since the start of the second offering. Ryan Cohen owns Cohen Capital Management, LLC, his own hedge fund focused on small and mid-cap companies, and our CEO of GameStop. Ryan Cohen is also a partner of Hydrazine Capital, a venture capital firm co-founded by Sam Altman, the CEO of OpenAI, and Jack Altman. This company focuses on tech innovative companies. GME has shown massive signs of wanting to get into this with their ties to new tech, blockchain, and digital marketplace. Larry Chang is the co-founder of Volatile Capital along with Roger Hurwitz and Sean Cantwell, a growth equity firm with a primary focus on high-growth founder-owned technology and consumer sector companies. All these companies could easily have interest in GameStop and could be the parties buying the convertible senior notes from GameStop for no other reason than to get capital into GameStop's hands. Ryan Cohen and Larry Chang love what they do. They don't ever get paid for it, and Altman wants to see tech change the world. They created ChatGPT and gave it out for free, revolutionizing AI. What a better place to achieve this than GameStop? I don't think these notes will get converted, not unless GameStop and its investors decide to force their conversion when conditions are met. And I looked in to see if this was legal or even possible, because I figured it would be a conflict of interest, but according to ChatGPT, so I could definitely be wrong, this is actually something that Ryan Cohen could do if he wanted to. IGME is still being promoted on Reddit, even on the AMC Reddit page. And just in, GameStop's short interest balloons to the highest level since May of 2024. The reported short interest is just under 20%. But the people who report these numbers are the same people who make the rules for reporting these numbers, so we must take this 20% with a grain of salt. And if short interest was really that low, why would they make 2 ETFs around GameStop to control the price of GameStop? And people might think like, okay, well the ETFs can't control the price of GameStop. Well, whenever they came out with GMEU, that same day Roaring Kitty posted the "You cannot be serious" meme.
You can't be serious, man. You cannot be serious! That ball was on the line!
Please don't whip out the pitchforks and torches. Really quickly, we're going to talk about AMC. And technically, when it comes to enterprise value, AMC is actually overvalued compared to a sign mark. On the daily, I was really hoping that AMC would be able to hold this $3.23 line, but sadly it showed zero support. On the 1 hour just a couple of weeks ago, AMC had a pretty sad jump off this 500-day moving average, and then the next day quickly gave it up. And this is right after falling through the 200-day moving average on the 1 hourly as well. It seems like it's stabilizing and might be an accumulation, but to me this looks more like distribution. The RSI is starting to cool off a bit, getting ready for its next leg down, I believe. On the 4 hour, the MACD isn't an all or nothing indicator, but the fact that we did fall through the 500-day moving average and the 200-day moving average on both the 1 hour and the 4 hour recently, and now we've got the MACD flipping green underneath that with zero buying volume, really makes me think that AMC is getting ready for another leg down. And this really looks like distribution to me. But I could be totally wrong, and maybe Roaring Kitty comes back tomorrow. We've talked about how he's been shaking the bushes for a while, and there's that 420-day cycle that he might be following, so maybe he comes back and this thing snaps back up to $7, $8 per share. But in the short term, it looks bearish. The Bollinger Bands are getting really tight on the 4 hour, so you know a move is coming. On the daily, we obviously gave up the 5-day moving average as well, fell below it today on June 25th. On the weekly, when you really zoom in, you'll see that we tested the top Bollinger Band, fell through the $3.20 support at the exact same time that we fell through the 5-day moving average, so that shows that there's really just not a whole lot of buyers. And then right here, we also, the next week, fell through the midline, and now AMC is getting comfortable below the midline on the weekly chart. If AMC can get above $3 per share, it will start to look bullish. And maybe this is just a fake out. And please remember, I am not trying to upset you, but AMC has their revenue, 2020, $1 billion, 2021, $2 billion, $3.5 billion, almost $4.5 billion, and then about $4.2 billion again. But then their gross profit is like $600 million, $700 million, $300 million, and then they actually lost money in 2021 and 2022. While Signmark, on the other hand, only generates about half as much revenue, but then their gross profit is like $1.5 billion, $1.5 billion, $1.2 billion, and then in 21 and 22, they still made $700 million and $200 million. Compared to AMC losing almost $900 million and then $132 million. You see how their profits are just really far apart, even though AMC almost gets twice as much revenue? I am just trying to show you the facts. Thank you so much if you made it this far in the video. Sorry it was a longer one. I really appreciate it, and God bless you.